What is going on, interwebs? I am Straxus, and today I'm bringing you some very interesting news. Some of you might know about it, some of you might not know about it. This is clearly for the people who do not know about it. Apparently, some fans... People will call them fans, I would call them stalkers, but... Because, I mean, who the fuck looks for this shit? But some fans very recently found a European trademark document for a Fallout New Orleans, or New Orleans, however the hell you want to say it. It could be a hoax, it very well could be a hoax. And I personally believe it's a hoax, and I'll give my own reasons for that. But it could also be legitimate, because trademarks, for the common man, it's just not feasible for a common man to go out and spend that kind of money on a fucking trademark. Who has that kind of cash just lying around to piss away? But the reason I think it's a hoax is because fans found it. In the first place, why the hell were they even looking for it? Second place, how did they know where to look? Third place, who has the time to even do this? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's their job, I don't know. But the rumor mill is that fans found it and they just released it to the public in like various places. And if I can find a link that actually shows you the copy of the said document, I'll put it in the description and you can judge for yourself. But the part that throws me is that it's a European trademark company. If you're doing an American location in a video game, why would you do European trademarking unless A, your company is in Europe, and I would have to research because I don't know offhand if Bethesda's main office is set in Europe. I don't believe it is. But, you know, A, if your business is set in Europe, B, if it's cheaper, and C, if you want to keep it under the table, low radar, so people don't find out about it, and yet still somehow fans found out about it. So, I mean, that's why I'm leaning more towards it's a hoax, to be honest. Yes, trademarks are expensive. To the common man, that's a huge chunk of cash to just piss away for a hoax. But, let's be honest, the world is full of assholes, and these assholes get off on making other people squirm and all this other shit. So it's not completely outlandish to think that some jerk-off out there would spend that kind of money on a trademark. And by the way, it's like around $1,000 US. But it's not completely outlandish to think some kind of jerk-off out there would spend that kind of money just to, you know, get a rise out of people. So it could be a hoax or it could be real. I'm personally leaning towards hoax, even with the huge investment, literally, that you would have to invest into it. But if it is a legitimate game, then obviously it's another spin-off, much like New Vegas. Because, I mean, we're just barely off the release. Well, it feels like we're just barely off the release of Fallout 4. I mean, it came out last year, 2015. We're coming around on its 1-year anniversary now. So, I mean, it's not completely outlandish to think that they're coming out with another spin-off, because, I mean, New Vegas. Now, later on, we could see if Bethesda or whoever is, like, out on locale taking pictures, much like they did with Boston for Fallout 4. So, I mean, if we discover, like, they're actually taking pictures, like, most people found out that they were taking pictures of Boston, and they were like, oh, the next Fallout's in Boston. Well, if we see companies like Bethesda or companies related to Bethesda out and about taking locale pictures for New Orleans, then obviously, you know, kind of confirmed at that point. But if it is real, I don't think Bethesda's going to be the one behind it, because they just released Fallout 4. Nuka World's coming out on the 30th. So they're done with the DLC cycle for Fallout 4, but they're also working on other games. Todd Howard said as much at E3. So I personally don't believe Bethesda is going to be the team behind this new Fallout if it is real. Now which raises the question, well, who the hell is going to be behind it if it's not going to be Bethesda? Well, we've already had one team behind a Fallout game that wasn't Bethesda, and it was Obsidian. And I'm hoping beyond hope that it actually is Obsidian, but I believe they're working on their own projects, so they probably have their hands too full. I'm hoping against hope that if it is real, it's really happening, it's coming out, and it's an actual real spin-off, that Obsidian takes the reins again and releases another spin-off.
Nice.
Because I personally actually full-on loved New Vegas. I love the DLCs. The Sierra Madre Hotel, that one, or was it a casino? I think it was Sierra Madre Casino. That DLC scared the ever-living shit out of me with those ghost zombies. I'll be forefront, upright, and honest about it. That DLC scared the literal shit clean out of me. But they did a really awesome job. And the alien...
Doors chained up on the other end.
Were aliens in Vegas, or was that 3? No, I don't think that was Vegas. That was 3. But my main point is that Obsidian, they made a really good game. It's, some people liked it, some people hated it for whatever reason. I mean, most people's complaints were it was buggy as shit. Well, that's the case for every fucking Fallout game. That's like their hallmark, man. I mean, Fallout 3 wasn't without its own bugs, glitches and shit. You could get stuck in almost anything in Fallout 3. And granted, with Fallout New Vegas, you had rad scorpions magically teleporting under the fucking ground and somehow stinging you with their stingers. But I mean, it's a hallmark of a Fallout game to have bugs, and New Vegas was no exception, but it wasn't the only one. For fuck's sake, Fallout 4 has bugs. Tons of bugs. But overall, Obsidian, I believe, did a really, really good job with Fallout New Vegas. So, if the spin-off is real, I'm hoping beyond hope that it's Obsidian behind it. Because, I mean, it's in their wheelhouse. They've been there before. They've done it before. They're accustomed to it. They know what to do, what not to do. So, I think they could deliver a really AAA experience with a game that's basically a side project. It's not even, like, in the main series. It's not Fallout 5. And again, well, it might be Fallout 5. This New Orleans thing might not even be coming out as a spin-off. It might be an actual game. It might even be Fallout 5. They're just holding the name Fallout New Orleans, but they could change it later once they release the full project, which even if it is Fallout 5, that could be another 6 to 8 years from now. But if it's an actual spin-off, I really hope it's Obsidian. That's just my own personal opinion. There's other companies they could use. They could use Arcane Studios to do it. But Arcane Studios has their hands full with Dishonored 2, its associated DLCs, and the Prey reboot. So I don't think it's going to be Arcane Studios. The odds of them actually doing it are slim. So I guess they could send it to one of their side teams in their other locations. And you could also say it could be ZeniMax, because ZeniMax made Elder Scrolls Online. But I personally believe if Fallout New Orleans is actually real and they announce it at E3, and if they announce that it's going to be ZeniMax behind it, I fully expect there to be some boos in the crowd, because not a lot of people are very pleased with the service that ZeniMax has offered them with Elder Scrolls Online. And I personally, I like Elder Scrolls Online. It's not a bad game to me, I'm not so oblivious to its faults. I know the things that are wrong with it. There's crashes in Grotwood, there's random fucking loading screens for no reason. Orsinium is basically the Bermuda Triangle of fucking Elder Scrolls Online. You go in Orsinium, you will never be seen or heard from again because you can't go 2 feet without the fucking thing crashing on you. I mean, I personally like it, but I'm not so blinded by how much I enjoy it that I don't see its faults. And I personally believe if they're like, oh, ZeniMax Online, you know, they're the guys behind the new Fallout game, there will be an upheaval of boos. There might be some half-hearted, like, yay, woo, you know? But there, I guarantee you, it might almost be on par with Tom Clancy revealing Tom Clancy's people revealing the Splinter Cell Blacklist, I think it was, and it was just dead silent. They were like, Splinter Cell Blacklist, and the crowd was just fucking silent. There were no boos, but no one cheered either. And the guy on stage was like, oh, this is awkward. It's okay, guys, you can cheer. You know, you clap. Anyone? Clap? No? Oh, God. You know, it was really awkward, and it was just sad.
Please, just wait.
So,
are you here to help us out?
I'm hoping that it's not ZeniMax.
What's the problem? It's the gunners.
Maybe they could redeem themselves if they took the time to actually try and make it, like make the Fallout New Orleans. Maybe they could redeem themselves. But they have so much shit to fix in Elder Scrolls Online. I don't even see that happening. And I personally believe, you know, Obsidian is the only company that could do this game. And it's certainly not going to be Bethesda because Todd Howard said as much at E3. I mean, the guy behind Fallout, he is Fallout. The words came right out of his mouth that they're not working on a Fallout. But again, you know, game developers, very sneaky. Sneaky in a good way. Now, some of them are kind of crooked and underhanded with their tactics. Todd Howard, definitely not one of those people. He's straightforward. You know, he keeps his secrets when he needs to keep his secrets. But for the most part, Todd Howard is a straight guy. You know, he's honest with you. So, he basically said it at E3. He's like, we're not working on another Fallout. We just came out with a Fallout 4. We're working on the DLCs. And, once we're finished with this, we're going to move on to other projects to expand our horizons. Some other big titles that we're working on. He wasn't going to give him any details then. But even later he said, we're not even working on an Elder Scrolls. It's going to be a while for another Elder Scrolls. Which makes sense to me. Because, you know, the whole reason they're coming out with Skyrim Remastered is to tide you over until they come out with the next Elder Scrolls.
What are we gonna do? Don't worry. We'll see what happens in the
And, you know, some people could say, well, no, you know, that's Todd Howard, you know, he's just doing his secrets thing. No, it seemed pretty genuine. You know, for the most part, when Todd Howard says something that's a secret, or I don't want to say a lie, because I don't want to call Todd Howard a liar, because he's not. He's just doing the trade. But you know, when he's keeping his secret, he's got this kind of like a grin on his face, like a.
That's what you want.
We'll talk about that later. You know, that kind of grin, like I know something you don't know. But when he outright said that that they're not working on another Elder Scrolls or another Fallout, he didn't have that look on his face. He was just straight blank, like a fucking machine. So, if New Orleans is real, it's not going to be Bethesda. And with all the shit that's happened with ZeniMax, no, they're trying to redeem themselves in Elder Scrolls, but they're not doing a very good job with it. But with all the shit behind ZeniMax and their problems with Elder Scrolls Online and Arcane Studios with their hands full, I guess they could take it to another company, but I don't think they would trust anyone just anyone with their game. I mean, it's a spin-off, if it is real, or it seems like it's going to be a spin-off, because it's called Fallout New Orleans on the trademark paper, much like Fallout New Vegas. I don't think they would trust that franchise with just anybody, even if it is a spin-off. So it's more than likely going to be Obsidian. And if it is Obsidian, I believe Fallout 3 came out... Oh, fuck, when the hell did it come out? I was in high school. Around... Was it my senior year? I believe it came out around... If it was my senior year, then it came out in 2008. And Fallout New Vegas came out just a couple years later. So if Fallout New Orleans is real and it's happening, then we just had Fallout 4 in 2015. So around 2017, maybe. They might announce it in 2016. No, it is 2016. But I don't know. I'm not an expert. If I can find the document, I'll leave a link in the description for you guys. Like I said, judge for yourself. If it's not a hoax, I personally think it is. But if it isn't, I would really like to see that location in a Fallout universe. You know, just Bourbon Street, Louisiana, the Bayou, just New Orleans in general, and the dialogue with the accents. It's really interesting. I hope it's real. But that's about going to do it for this video, you guys. Just a bit of interesting news I thought you should know. Likes, comments, subscribes. We passed 30. I'm so happy. Thank you guys for the support. I love you. Hopefully we can get 45 before the end of September. But for right now, I will see you later.